I never told you this, but one of the finalists for the part of Gloria was Penny Marshall, who at that time was living with Rob Reiner and soon to marry.
All in the Family was Penny Marshall, who was dating Rob Reiner at the time. But it was Sally Struthers who ultimately got the part America's sweetheart for 8 years on one of the most groundbreaking shows in television history. Yet, there's one 1975 episode Sally refuses to talk about. It aired once and was pulled forever. Co-stars won't mention it, and CBS received hundreds of angry letters afterward. The footage reportedly still exists in a network vault, but Sally has said she'd take the truth of that night to her grave. Sally Ann Struthers was born July 28, 1947, in Portland, Oregon. Her childhood was shaped by hardship. Though her father was a doctor, Sally's roots were working class. Her grandfather earned less than $25 a week during the Great Depression, and her mother battled depression while working as a clerk after Sally's father abruptly walked out when she was just 9. The abandonment hit hard. Sally pretended to classmates her father had left for work, but the emotional wound never healed. The family lived modestly in northeast Portland, where powdered milk and government cheese were staples. She wore hand-me-downs and rarely brought friends home. But even amid poverty, kids made their own fun, turning vacant lots into playgrounds and creating joy from scraps. For Sally, this environment built resilience. That early emotional pain would one day fuel her most public work. In 1977, during the peak of her fame, she became the face of the Christian Children's Fund. To Sally, it wasn't just a job, it was personal. Colleagues recalled her breaking down after reading scripts about abandoned children. She helped raise over $100 million worldwide for the organization, turning her private pain into public purpose. But even before that, she had discovered a gift that lifted her out of gloom: performance. By age 10, she was doing skits in the living room, impersonating TV stars to make her depressed mother smile. At 12, she won a talent show for her Ed Sullivan impression. Comedy became her therapy and her escape. At 17, she left Portland with only $1,200 and enrolled at the Pasadena Playhouse in California. She earned a scholarship and was named its most promising student. Yet, early success didn't come easy. After being fired from the Tim Conway Comedy Hour for being too much, she found herself nearly broke. That firing, though, opened the door to All in the Family. Creator Norman Lear remembered her from a prior variety show appearance. When she auditioned, he knew instantly she was right for Gloria. Still, Sally thought she'd lose the part too. "Penny Marshall, you already have Edith," Lear told her. "We need someone to make Gloria her own." That reassurance sealed it, but not without complications. Sally once asked Norman Lear if he hired her because she was the funniest. His answer shocked her. "You have blue eyes and a fat face like Carol O'Connor. Audiences need to believe you're daddy's girl." It was a cruel statement she never forgot. Despite being one of the leads on a hit show, she was left out of Lear's private gatherings and never invited to his famous dinner parties. "I wasn't included in 8 years, she later revealed. It didn't feel good. She was always the fourth banana, as she put it, after O'Connor, John Stapleton, and Rob Reiner. Part of the issue was the writing. The largely older male team admitted they didn't know how to write for a young woman like Gloria. For years, her lines were repetitive. "I'll help you set the table. Ma, Michael, where are you going?" And "Oh, Daddy, stop it." When they didn't know what to do with her, they wrote her off-screen. Sally often said it felt like being erased. Eventually, she took legal action against Norman Lear in 1974, trying to break her contract. The lawsuit cost her $40,000 more than her yearly salary, but she was desperate. She lost the case and was forced to stay for 3 more seasons. The irony, those final years gave her the best material. Gloria became a mother, and the writers finally gave her more depth. Despite 2 Emmy wins in 1972 and 1979, she felt artistically stifled throughout much of the show. And All in the Family wasn't without controversy. Its satire of bigotry pushed boundaries. But by 1974, it became clear that some viewers weren't laughing at Archie Bunker, they were agreeing with him. In one 1975 episode, Archie wore blackface for a minstrel show. It aired once, sparked outrage, and vanished from reruns. Sally explained the show's unspoken rule: racist lines could only stay if someone challenged them, but often she wasn't allowed in those scenes her character sent upstairs, her voice absent. Sally married psychiatrist William C. Rader in 1977 during the height of her fame. They had a daughter, Samantha, and Sally made a bold decision. She stepped back from career opportunities to prioritize motherhood. She turned down spin-offs and demanding roles to remain close to home. Samantha later became a clinical psychologist and founded a wellness center for women. Prove many say that Sally's sacrifices paid off. Determined to be the parent she never had, Sally provided the stability her own childhood lacked. Throughout her career, she remained dedicated to charity, appearing for 35 years in Save the Children commercials. Her emotional pleas became iconic, but also the subject of cruel parodies. In Living Color and South Park mocked her mercilessly, reducing her heartfelt messages to jokes about her weight. South Park even created a sketch so vicious Comedy Central refused to air it. Greeting cards made fun of her. Sally admitted this. Cruelty left her emotionally scarred, especially when people treated her size as a reason to doubt her sincerity. What's wrong with the world? She would ask, why is kindness mocked? Danger followed her too. On a trip to Uganda, her charity team was confronted by armed guerrillas who accused them of child abduction. A priest with her managed to calm the situation, saving their lives. On another trip, she contracted hepatitis. Eventually, Sally stepped away from international charity work partly for safety, but also because her daughter needed her dot. She also recalled a humiliating moment involving Donald Trump after a promising conversation about hosting a charity event at Trump Tower. She called back days later only to be brushed off. The rejection hurt deeply. On Mark Maron's podcast, she later referred to him bitterly as the orange butthole, not just over politics, but the pain of being turned away when trying to help starving children. In 1985, she starred on Broadway in a female-led version of The Odd Couple alongside Rita Moreno. Though the show succeeded, Sally described it as one of her worst professional experiences due to a toxic environment behind the scenes. And yet, she endured. In 2024, Sally shocked audiences with a stunning transformation. At 77, she appeared in a documentary looking healthier and more vibrant than ever. After suffering heart palpitations in 2022, she changed her diet, lost over 35 pounds, and started daily pool aerobics. She gave up cheeseburgers and ice cream, her longtime comforts. At a May 2020 gala, she wowed the public. Photos went viral. Her social media exploded. That same year, she finally opened up about her relationship with Norman Lear, who had died at 101. She revealed how often he left her in tears with harsh critiques, causing anxiety attacks before filming, but she also credited those years with teaching her resilience. She now feels free to speak her truth. Through it all, Sally says her greatest joy has been her daughter Samantha, whom she raised largely alone. Samantha graduated summa cum laude and earned her doctorate in psychology by 2017. Today, she runs her own practice and often speaks about mental health. Sally's story of hardship, fame, exclusion, and redemption comes full circle in the success of the child she devoted her life to. Even now, over 50 years since All in the Family first aired, Sally remains a powerful example of endurance. When she appeared at the Television Hall of Fame in 2024, reading from old sitcom scripts, the audience gave her a 2-minute standing ovation. The moment proved that real talent never fades, and neither does a truly resilient spirit.